Trustees. Today is April the 8th, 2019. It's now 7 p.m. We do have a quorum present, so I'll call this meeting to order. Ms. Diasis will lead us in the pledges, and Mr. Rector will lead us in the invocation. If everybody will please rise.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the precious gift of our students. We ask our blessings upon us as we get ready to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Realizing, oh God, that he rose on the third day with all power in heaven and the earth within his hand. Heavenly Father, I pray and ask your blessings upon this meeting this evening. Pray and ask your blessings upon this board and our superintendent. And we ask all that we ask in the most precious name of Jesus Christ, for his sake we do pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Rector. Before we get started, I just want to welcome some people here. I know we want to welcome our parents. Thank you. We're going to recognize our students here in a minute, so thank y'all for being here. For the administrators, Indico's here to do their presentation. Welcome this evening. So I missed anybody. With Grayson. Grayson's here somewhere. They're just standing in the back. And Fidel, welcome back again. Monthly thing, right, guys? Agenda item number 2 is recognitions of the Panthers of the Month and Employees of the Month for the month of March. And I believe Ms. Johnson is going to read for us today.
Yes.
But then we can do the presentation.
We have a student from February 2019, our Falk Early Childhood Panther of the Month, was Kylie Arizmendez. Kylie is the daughter of Gilbert Arizmendez and Carly Oliver. Kylie is a pre-kindergartner at Falk Early Childhood. In her spare time, Kylie enjoys playing with her toys, her dolls, and her dogs Camilla and Mercury. Her favorite color is pink. She likes school because she likes to learn about letters and to eat lunch. Kylie would like to work at Walmart when she grows up. Kylie Arizmendez was selected as Panther of the Month because she is a dedicated student. She follows school rules and makes good choices. Kylie is a good helper to her teacher and her classmates, and a great friend to everyone. Falk Early Childhood is proud to have Kylie Arizmendez as their Panther of the Month. Now for our Panthers of the Month for March. Falk Early Childhood has selected Xavier Elizondo Castro as their Panther of the Month. Xavier is the son of Diana and Ryan Castro. Come on up. Xavier is a pre-kindergartner at Falk Early Childhood. In his spare time, Xavier enjoys playing with his toys and his little sister, Jasleen. His favorite color is blue. He likes school because it's super fun and he gets to run outside. Xavier's goal is to be a police officer when he grows up. Xavier Elizondo Castro was selected as Panther of the Month because he is a dedicated student. He makes good choices and is a great example to his peers. Xavier is a sweet kid and a great helper. Falk Early Childhood is proud to have Xavier Elizondo Castro as their Panther of the Month. Keyburger Elementary has selected Kai Morris Chamberlain as their March Panther of the Month. Kai is a 3rd grade student at Keyburger Elementary and is son of Tanya Chamberlain. After school, Kai does his homework as soon as he arrives home. Then for fun, he likes to play outside, and sometimes he will throw the football around or paper airplanes. Kai's favorite subject in school is math and science. Kai loves science because Mr. Baumberg and Mrs. Robinson make it so much fun with all their labs and interesting things they do. Kai likes math because he enjoys working the problems and finding the answers. When he grows up, Kai would like to be a professional football player. Kai was selected as Panther of the Month because he works hard, is respectful, cooperative, and responsible. Keyburger Elementary is proud to have Kai Chamberlain as their Panther of the Month. Charlie Marshall Elementary School has selected Cameron Nichols Clark as their March Panther of the Month. Cameron is a 4th grader at CMES. She is always smiling and very polite. She is very respectful and always puts others first. We are very proud of her hard work and dedication. Cameron is the daughter of Tamika Clark and the granddaughter of Margaret Clark. She has one younger sister and one younger brother. She currently has 2 dogs. Her favorite color is purple. Cameron's favorite hobby is dancing. Her favorite school subject is math. She likes school because she can learn new things every day while spending time with her friends. Cameron hopes to become a teacher when she grows up. Please join us in congratulating Cameron Nichols Clark as our March Panther of the Month. She is one of the many bright stars we have at Charlie Marshall Elementary. AC Blunt Middle School has selected Alora Pierre as their March Panther of the Month. Alora is a 7th grade student at AC Blunt Middle School. She is the daughter of Kat and Shane Pierre. Alora has lived all her life in Aransas Pass with her parents, 2 brothers, and her dog Muffin. Her favorite class at school is math. When asked why that is her favorite class, she says she just loves it. When not at school, Alora loves to play sports, any sport, in her spare time. Her favorite sport is volleyball. She hopes to continue playing through high school and college. When she finishes school, she wants to become a chiropractor or a nurse because she enjoys helping others. Alora is a very dedicated student. People would be surprised if they knew she already sets goals for herself and is working hard to achieve them. Alora Pierre was selected as Panther of the Month because she is a shining example for all other students. She was nominated by her teachers because she always follows the rules, makes good choices, and works hard to be successful. AC Blunt Middle School is proud to have Alora Pierre as their Panther of the Month. Congratulations. Aransas Pass High School has selected Deacon Arrington for their March Panther of the Month. Deacon is a sophomore at Aransas Pass High School and is the son of Philip and Sarah Arrington. Deacon has a brother, William, and a sister, Rainey. In his spare time, Deacon enjoys helping others, taking care of animals, and playing sports. Deacon's favorite subject in school are math, history, science, and English, and he loves to study new things so as to further his knowledge in many fields. Deacon was selected as Panther of the Month at Aransas Pass High School because he is kind and hardworking. He is incredibly studious and a good example to his peers. Aransas Pass High School is proud to have Deacon Arrington as their Panther of the Month. Now for our employees of the month for March 2019. Jeanette Kinderwater is the Peems clerk at Falk Early Childhood. This is her 13th year with Aransas Pass. Jeanette is married to her husband Eric and is the mom of 4 grown children, Eric Jr., Rachel, Monica, and Brian. She also has 8 grandchildren and 4 dogs. Her favorite color is chartreuse, which is a shade of green. In her spare time, she enjoys watching forensic files on TV. Mrs. Kinderwater enjoys her job at the Peems clerk. She loves seeing the students every day and truly misses them during the summer break. Jeanette Kinderwater is a great asset to the school. She is a constant contact with parents while the students are absent and sick. She also steps in with nursing duties when our nurse is scheduled at another campus. She is always willing to lend a helping hand. Falk Early Childhood is proud to have Jeanette Kinderwater as their Employee of the Month. Keyburger Elementary has selected Robin Vogel as their March Employee of the Month. This is her biography in her own words. My name is Robin Vogel. I was born and raised in Lawrence Harbor, New Jersey. I have lived in Aransas Pass for the past 40 years. I have been working for Aransas Pass ISD for 20 years. I have 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. I love gardening, fishing, and boating. I especially like working with children and helping them learn. Mrs. Vogel was selected Employee of the Month at Keyburger Elementary because of the hard work and dedication she exhibits to our students and staff. Keyburger Elementary is proud to have such a great employee like Robin Vogel. Congratulations. Our Charlie Marshall Elementary Employee of the Month is Jennifer Holmes. Miss Holmes lives in Corpus Christi and has to pick up her children, so she regrets she won't be able to make it, but I'll go ahead and read her biography. It is with great pride that CMES recognizes Jennifer Holmes as their Employee of the Month. Ms. Holmes joined our CMES family this year as a first-year teacher, which I only share for bragging rights as one would never know upon visiting her classroom. When our hiring committee formed last summer, Mrs. Holmes was one of several applicants that were selected to progress from the application stage to the interview process. She was up against some very good competition, yet it was clear to everyone present that she had a drive to make a difference in the lives of students. This could partially be attributed to her prior career working for the Department of Family Services and knowing what a difference that a teacher can make in the lives of their students. Mrs. Holmes is a constant learner regarding all aspects of her new profession. She strives to better herself for no other reason than to do better for students and grow in her new profession. One of her qualities that I cannot help but mention is that she is proactive instead of reactive. When she anticipates a concern, she communicates, seeks advice, and makes changes. A day doesn't go by that Mrs. Holmes walks to her car exhausted from giving her all to her students. We hope that she saves just a little each day for her husband Eugene and their 2 children. I am not sure if she wanted to laugh or cry when I told her teaching gets easier with experience, but it never gets easier. To which she replied, I've worked hard in my life, but I never went home so tired as I do now. Thank you, Mrs. Holmes, for choosing APISD and Charlie Marshall Elementary School to be your home away from home. As we know that good teachers always have a choice.
I hope she gets
Gunn was selected by her fellow teachers as Employee of the Month at AC Blunt Middle School. The dedication that she exhibits for our students. This is her biography. Sarah Gunn graduated from Texas A&I University in 1991 and began teaching middle school at Seal Junior High in the fall. She worked for 15 years at the Winseal Fine Arts Academy teaching English and history before moving to Rockport. She also taught pre-AP history in Pasadena for 3 years. Her stepchildren attended AC Blunt and loves the idea that she came to work in their hometown. She is finding a lot of satisfaction in the challenge of being a partner in the process of opening the hearts and minds of our children. It is an honor for her to work with the caring and involved staff at our middle school. We are proud to have such a great employee like Sarah Gunn at AC Blunt Middle School. Congratulations. Terry Seidel was selected by her fellow teachers as Employee of the Month at APHS. Terry was selected because of the hard work and dedication she exhibits for our students. This is her biography in her own words. I have 29 years of teaching experience, 23 of those at APHS. While here at APHS, I've coached volleyball, basketball, golf, track, tennis, and softball. I have been the girls' athletic coordinator for 21 years. I oversee the online Edgenuity program for the high school, middle school, and Walter Noble campuses. I also oversee dual credit students for the high school. I'm the chairman of attendance committee, sophomore class sponsor, and drive a bus. I have a loving and very supportive husband, which I have 3 daughters with, and that all graduated from APHS. I have 4 awesome granddaughters, and I would say my heart bleeds purple. Aransas Pass High School is proud to have such a great employee like Terry Seidel. Congratulations.
On behalf of the board, I want to congratulate all our students and our parents and our staff. Just a few words. With parents, I mean, your students are being recognized further by entering the classroom. You're doing something right, but we're recognizing them. A lot of times with schools, it's kind of hard to get the behaviors that you want, as some of our administrators can tell you. When we have glowing examples of students like yours that are doing the right things, it makes it easier for the rest of the students to follow that lead. So I congratulate you guys on doing a great job, and your students also. And then to our teachers, thank you for your commitment to excellence, to our campus and to our students. That's what we're all here for in the end. So thank you for your hard work. And at this time, I'll take a brief minute if you guys want to leave early. I know we have dinner and start testing. If you want to stay for the rest of our meeting and listen to the rest of our business, you're more than welcome to. Kato's the first one out of
I
here.
got literally board meeting, I got another meeting.
Have a good evening. Yes, the door. Agenda item number 3 are the public comment section of our meeting. Do we have anybody that signed up? Agenda item number 4 is a consent agenda. Included in the board package are your minutes of the March 18th, 2019 regular board meeting. We had an opportunity to review them over the weekend. Does anybody have any corrections? If there are no corrections, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from March 18th?
Make motion.
Motion by Mr. Mullinax, second by Mr. Rector. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 5 is the overview of the Student Advisory Council April meeting. Ms. Cook.
I have the minutes from that meeting. All the meetings were very good, but I thought this one was exceptionally good. We had some great input from the students. We started posing the question to them as we think about, as we're preparing ourselves for that vision and goal setting as a board and administrative team and community. Started asking them for input on what they think they feel needs to be seen in our classrooms and the learning, how the learning process needs to look. Great input, great insight, and so we're looking forward to more conversations there. But Mr. Mullinax, did you have anything to add from our meeting?
No, it's just amazing every time I go to those meetings that we talk about things and some of the inputs, and some of the thought that they go into those inputs are just outstanding because again, they come up with some very, very good ideas, out of the box things that we never thought of. So I kind of look forward to it every time I'm going to those meetings. It's the highlight of my day. So.
Board have any questions? I have a couple of just observations or questions. I like the format that it looks like you went back to them and answered a lot of the questions from the last meeting. That was one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we were doing from month to month when we first implemented this, to make sure that we answered their questions and got back with them. There were a couple of comments about the ingenuity program that I didn't quite understand that the student was referring to as far as no feedback on their work.
That's a computer-based program that they have, and so they have some concerns about not having that interaction with a teacher. So they shared those concerns. So I'm going to take that back to our admin team and look at, what can we do there, because we need to listen to, because these are some of our top kiddos that are taking some of these courses, and they just were feeling like they weren't receiving some of that attention that I think they'd like to have in their interaction. I found it very interesting actually, because our kiddos are so much about texting and their world is just, and so I thought that was very interesting that they were saying that they didn't know that was the best format in which to learn material.
But so just so I'm clear, it was my understanding the ingenuity program was for students that were behind? Is that?
No, we
Is there
used
another
it
aspect
some
of
this
it?
year, and Mr. Bennett's not here to speak to that. We can, well, actually, this Sunday.
Sarah, you wanna-
Speak to that, about some, we actually have some classes that we had to, you have to remind me all the ones because we did not have the staff this year. Would you like to, do you mind going to the podium and speaking to that? You can speak more eloquently since you were in there every day and seeing what's going on. So
Put you on the
I'm
spot
sure
here.
you're getting more than we are.
Just trying to get understand what they're talking about.
Well, because of the teaching coverage and things like that, we have added some original credit because the program is approved through TEA because there are accredited teachers that are teaching those courses. So we have offered some foreign language for original credit. We have also offered some AP courses just to give us, where we're a little short with staff on campus. It's giving us some of those places that we can try to look at those numbers, and it helps counselors with trying to balance the schedules, because our kids want to be in so many programs that we offer, the healthcare science classes and things like that, and they can't just set aside and say, okay, we're going to have AP English 3 only second period, because that doesn't work for every kid's schedule. And they don't have enough teachers to say, well, I have an AP teacher for all 8 classes that I could offer it to all the kids. So to try to make it fair and even to where they can all be offered those courses, we kind of sat down as a staff and figured out which ones we could accommodate. And we still have some of those courses that are, being that were through classes with the AP teachers. So we felt like this year is English, that's where we're really focusing, because they have spent their freshman year with a pre-AP teacher in the classroom. They spent their sophomore year with a pre-AP teacher, and then they come to the computer program, which we're getting them ready for with that program, hopefully, and it's shown this year so far, is then they senior year take dual credit English. And we had 100% pass rate in the fall with all of our dual credit students. The most we've ever had, 67 credits received, and I think that program is helping them get ready. They don't necessarily like it, but it is helping them get ready. And we're trying to teach them to think outside the box. When you go off to college or whatever it may be, that you're gonna have to go seek help somewhere. You may have instruction between Ms. Stansbury and myself right now, but if I didn't get it, I've got to go find time on my own time to go over to the English department. Can you help me? Go over somewhere. So I think
So they do have access to it?
Yes, they have
Okay.
access to that.
Do they follow the program? Is it learn at your own pace?
It's learn at your own pace. It does set down a calendar, and it gives them so much that they have to accomplish a day, and so that they can stay on pace to finish the course. That is one thing, because it is approved by the college board, because it is an AP course, that we are not allowed to touch it. We can't adjust it in any way, any form, so they have to complete all of it so that they can receive that credit through college board.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Glad you were here to fill that in.
And Ms. Cook, do we have the resources and the ability to, if we have a student that's a high performer, that when they leave our high school, they can leave with 60 credit hours? Do we have that program established, or are we still working on it?
Believe what?
With 60 hours, I know there's some high schools in the area.
Well, we've actually had those conversations about how we can bring more opportunities to them for dual credit. 60 hours, I don't know that we have that capability at this point, but we have been having those discussions. In fact, Coach Liddell and I, we had a long, good conversation about how do we bring more to them. And I bet at Del Mar College, they are more than welcoming any opportunity to do that. So that is a area of conversation, but I don't, probably the most we've had at this point, maybe 15 hours.
I had a student a couple years ago that had like 30, close to 30.
Close to 30.
But he started early and he
Yeah.
took multiple.
And we're making some changes even with the middle school campus. We're looking at offering beyond this year so that they can go ahead and get a head start. So we're trying to look at what we can push back down to the middle school to offer other electives. So that opens up their schedule to be able to, if they so have, if they have the want to and the desire and the commitment to get in there and make those things happen, we're trying to find ways to make that available. As she was mentioning, most times it becomes a scheduling problem.
Right.
They want to be involved in all these different things, and finding a way to fit everything in there can get very difficult. So we're going to be having lots of good conversations about what can we do to open that up more for our students.
Anybody else have any other questions?
No, we talked a little bit about getting some type of scholarships too for some of the kids to help, because don't they pay for some of the dual credit classes?
Yes. It's in a very,
And so if they're
very
financially not able to,
range, yes.
we brought that up at the meeting, talked about it, and Ms. Coach said, take a look and see if there's something we can do as a board to set up some type of scholarship program for the kids that can't afford it. Because of the money aspect, we don't want to hold it back because of the money.
So that's a reduced rate from coming from colleges already. Any other questions?
Much cheaper.
I think first semester was close to third. I think I gave you like, it would have cost, our same students, if they had graduated the following year, would have been close to $37,000 or something, and we spent close to $2,100.
Awesome.
For the same exact college hours they would
Right.
get if they went across the bridge after they graduated.
Right.
So it's such a great opportunity, not only academically, but financially for families.
And it's not heard of, because in visiting with some of the trustees across the area, there's several high schools where it's not unheard of for students to be graduating with 40, 50, 60 hours. We need to plug in and see how we can do that. agenda item number 6 is the construction update.
Yes, things are moving along very well. We have our two representatives here tonight to share. So, Dale, would you like to go first and tell us where we are with our athletic complex, or we're all calling it different things right now, trying to decide what we're going to name it. I think Panther Den was vetoed. Right?
Sorry, I'm happy.
Mr. Brendan Todd, he's out, he's on vacation this week, so that's why he's not in attendance.
Is that everybody?
Yes, sir.
Should we go comment on this latest?
No, we'd rather have too much than not any.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Yes, sir. Just an update since our last meeting, the items that occurred, or are occurring, but have occurred during the last 2 weeks include, the painting of the gym and the locker room walls. The gym lighting been installed. The backboard structures were installed. And the center and wall hung scoreboards all installed. The gas regulators for the RTUs that were pending are installed, so the AC system could be complete as far as the entire system. We continue to form the walkways and the main entry walkway, and then pour some sidewalks along the perimeter of the building. And this week, we're going to continue to paint a lot more details because we have so much accent colors. So it's taking its toll on the painter right now to get those accurately, because everything has to look very straight and level. The concrete, I think they should have poured another sidewalk section and a stoop along the front entry doors today. The data and sound wiring this week. Also complete the aluminum frames and doors. We had some that we were holding off on because of access to the gym, so we're going to go ahead and finish those up and close it off. The job trailer is being removed this week, along with trying to get a final grade around the building so that we can start seeding and get some vegetation on the ground. Next week, we'll still be painting accent colors, but we'll also be painting we shouldn't get to the restrooms this week, but we should be finishing up the base wall painting, majority of the white color, but I think we'll still be trying to get a panther painted and some letters up at the high part of the gym. Form some more concrete pavement along the front specifically, and maybe some in the back too, some small sidewalks in the back. Plumbing fixtures, get those installed, and then the display cases, millwork, and the concession doors. Haven't installed those because we haven't got the paint on the walls in the concession area. So as soon as that's ready, hopefully we'll get that. And we have an installation of the front canopy also for next week. So that's pretty much it for next week. I'd say those reports have been updated for you. If you have any questions, for sure, ask.
Board, have any questions? Looks like you're going to get off easy tonight. So. We appreciate your hard work.
Thank
Yes, sir.
you.
Thank y'all.
For being here.
Let's have to reciprocate now.
All right, my name is Grayson with Kruger. I do not have a schedule, I'm sorry. I ran off dealing with an issue that was down here and had every intention to update it today to bring to you guys, but I did not. I will bring it to our next construction meeting. Ms. Cook can send it out to you guys as well so you can give an update. Since last time I was here, and I apologize for last month, I was notified a little too late, but then Ms. Cook let me know that we're here every month, so that would be fine by us. So. We finished up the gas line on the roof. We installed sinks, toilet fixtures, water heaters, and drinking fountains. They're probably about 90% complete with the majority of their work. They're getting extremely caught up. HVAC installed wall thermostats. All units are either on now or they're ready to be turned on. We don't have every unit on, just the fact that they don't need to be. They're installing the new mini split in the MDF room and the existing gym, and setting grills inside the ceiling grid as well. They're about 90% complete. Electrical, installing plugs, switches, light fixtures throughout the whole building. They have more ceiling grid now, so they're dropping more lights, turning more lights on, so lighting the place up a little bit now. Drywall, installed fur downs in the hallways and miscellaneous drywall. They're about 95% complete. Windows, installed all windows, storefront doors and hardware. The building is sealed up and locked up. Our hardware guy was also on site last week and put on the hardware for the regular doors that are not storefront, so we can lock and secure the building up. Painting, we haven't really done much on that. We hit a little snag on that. Our painting contractor kind of didn't really perform as the way we wanted him to perform. Outlines through our contract, we ended up terminating his contract. We have a new painter on site as of this morning. He has 8 guys on site right now and plans to have more. He will work 7 days a week to get caught up. And the company we've used ever since we've been in business. So we're fully confident in their ability to handle it and get moving and get caught up. So we feel that it'll get us out of the little hole that we lost having to deal with this. And so, they're installing data cabling throughout the building. They're pretty close to being complete. He's got cable trays inside the existing gym that will run into his room inside the existing gym as well. Tile flooring, installed all the tile floor in the bathrooms and grouted them. Millwork, we're installing millwork throughout the building. It'll take them about 20 to 30 days. They started about 2 weeks ago, as soon as airflow is on. Marker boards, they've been installed as well as the display cases. Earthwork, we started grading the dirt on the student drop-off lane. As you can see, if you might have drove by there today, it looks like a little pond out front. It still got 2 inches of rain. So the heat will dry it up, and they'll be back out there working the dirt and getting it out. And so existing gym, we painted the ceiling. We've installed the hard ceiling in the bathroom area and started installing the mini split. The look at milestones we have in the existing gym is install lights and paint the walls, install the fabric duct and turn it over to the district for storage. Now that the ceiling's been done, our new painter will get in there as soon as he gets his feet on the ground and gets all his paint gear and goes to work on that immediately to allow you guys to have that gym as soon as possible. Like I said, the painter's gonna get caught up and working. They'll be working 7 days a week. We'll start everywhere so we can drop more ceiling grid throughout the building. We'll set HVAC grills and light in the ceiling grid as well as light fixtures. Install kitchen equipment, finish installing millwork, and start floors throughout the building, and start the concrete work in the driveway. Like I said, the painter heard us. We're doing everything we possibly can to get caught up. Like I said, working 7 days a week and help them out a lot, help us out a lot. Airflow's on throughout the building. AP had their last little, I guess we got miscommunications with AEP on what they needed to do over spring break, and they finally got that hooked up, and We were airflow at 2 weeks, spring break, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's fully running. It's nice and cold in there now, so they're not complaining. I have 5 temporary guys coming in tomorrow that will detail the building as well. Be cleaned up a little bit and make it look a lot better, that's for sure. Question?
How far behind did you get because of the painter issue?
Painter took us about 3 to 4 weeks. So that's a big reason why when we got our new guy in, making him work 7 days a week was our stipulations. And
So based on our previous conversations where we discussed bringing additional manpower to make sure that we hit our target date, we're still gonna do that in order to get out of our target date, hasn't been back because we're behind 2 or 4 weeks on paint.
just the paint, so I need to see what he can do. If you can give me a week or two, I can be able to update Ms. Cook in our next construction meeting, see how he can handle his things and get going. I mean, really, the painter's our driving force right now. He's our critical path, and he's the most important person there is on our timeline. And so without him moving forward, it hurts a little bit, but guys are getting caught up, they're doing what they can, and so it's helping us now that he's on board and he's fully aware of the timeline, and he's gonna work every bit hard to make it up to it.
Any other questions from the board? Mr. Clerk, do you have any comments?
I did bring up to Charlie as well, the women's club deal with the furniture they want to donate to the library stuff. I know you're going to board a deal tomorrow with them, the women's club, I think. They were just asking for a little clarification on what these guys are providing, what we're providing, what they should provide, I guess, with the money that they raise for the library.
Cheryl and I talked about that today. We'll make sure they have a clear rendition of what they're having. That will be part of the dedication for that. Yes.
All right.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys see the thread?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Agenda item number 7 are the monthly reports. Included in your package are the accounts payable, the budget status investment report, tax collection report, bond finance update, and the enrollment report. You've had time to review those over the weekend. Does anybody have any questions? This is an information item, so this doesn't need any approval. If there are no questions, I'm going to move on. Item number 8 is to consider and approve Indico's proposal for furnishing Clark Elementary. Ms. Cook.
As we have been working toward, since you guys have been approved to move forward with Indico as our furniture representative, to begin to develop what furnishings would be put into the new building once we have completed it. So I have Mr. Kennedy here this evening, and he is going to share with us the floor layout and show you the renditions with the furniture as we bring to you our final proposals. We get this ordered and get it ready to be put in the building.
Welcome, Mr. Pena.
First of all, thank you very much for having me this evening. And I want to thank Ms. Cook ahead of time. Just thank Ms. Cook and Mr. Mansfield for their hard work. I think they're doing the right thing. Mr. Huss, they involved the teachers up front to listen to their needs, get their input. You know, when you do that, you're giving them an opportunity to tell you what works for them, you know, what they feel that they need for their students, and maybe what they've seen in the past. And then we took those plans, you know, laid everything into there, and then they came back and value engineered the project. So I really think they have the district's best interest in mind. You know, and us as a company, we're not here to just sell a product. We want to meet the needs of the teachers, meet the needs of your community. We're not pushing anything that you don't need. And I'm telling you, for a project this size, which we've got 32 classrooms, this is actually a very big school, larger than most elementaries that we've seen. You know, you guys have eight classrooms in the second grade, same thing on the first grade. We're jumping over to pre-K and kinder. This includes administration. You've got everything that you see outfitted in your library, including the shelving, double-sided mobile shelving. We've got the soft seating, which again, there was a conversation on some of the soft seating being donated. But nonetheless, you know, the plan is to have it fully outfitted. We're talking all the administration offices, the computer lab, cafeteria, and then we've got area A, which we had probably a couple of extra rooms based on the numbers that they had last year, number of students. So there was some ideas on what to do with those rooms. They were talking future growth, most importantly was pre-K and kinder, so those remain in area A. There are a couple of rooms that they were gonna use for either coaches, whenever there was a need to bring some students in and have them in an interior setting. And then we were talking about doing potentially a science lab. We need a science lab for elementary setting, could be something along the line of germinating beds or just some science tables that we can teach the kids, velocity, and some of the physics stuff. So I'll give you a quick run through of this. We did some basic renderings like that you would see an architect. We are doing HON on the entire project. HON's got a lifetime warranty. I think the district is very familiar with the product and what they have to offer. It's elegant. I think it's going to mesh very well. We can offer that in any colors that is on your color board. So when it comes to making it blend and giving that pop when people walk in, I think your school's going to look fantastic. Your computer lab, we do have countertops that are built in all the way around, but we're providing the computer chairs. We're doing a little bit of some collaborative setting on the inside where students can sit down and do some work. And then, as you can see, they're going with something a little bit different. And we did it in green just to kind of highlight it, but these are sit-to-stand desks for your teachers. So we have a few areas where it's a mobile sit-to-stand desk. We're trying to bring this teacher into a very functional, make them very functional to the students. They can put their laptop, they can have their information and wheel it around to whoever is sitting at the station, and then sit down with them and bring it back up. Everything that we sell, again, is manufactured in Temple. So we appreciate the business when it comes to doing work in Texas. We are proud of our heritage and everything that you see in here, including the tables, the computer tables, the chairs, we plastic injection mold our own stuff. It's all built here in Texas. These are some of the renderings pre-K. We try to simulate your Fusion Maple cabinets with the shaker cherry countertops. Mr. Mansfield and I have done a walkthrough of the building, so we saw some of the colors that are being utilized. And then the rest of us, the colors that you see on the edge banding of the tables and the move stools and the chairs are going to match the colors that are being used in the hallways. So for example, the apple green in one of them, we are doing some new age seating, something that's a little bit different, something that's attractive, that when parents walk in, they see that we're offering something outside of just the chairs. I think it'll be a nice little presentation for these kids. So kinder, we're doing the star tables. This table that you see here on the end, in all of those tables, you have one in every one of your rooms. They're actually flip-top marker board tables. So your students can sit around, do work on them, and then if the teacher needed to, or when they want to, because they will want to, at some point they can flip the table and use that as a marker board as well. It's mobile. It's great for the seating little group work when you bring students in and you can actually get down on their level and work with them on a marker board flip-top table. They've been extremely popular in all settings. So I just kind of, I just want to show some of the colors that we're using. So the renditions are similar. When we get into second grade, instead of tables, we are doing desks. Now we've got some collaborative desks that go together. This is a tri-top desk that can be pulled apart. So we can do group settings. We can pull them so they're pulled together, or spread them apart and put them in rows like you would see a traditional classroom. There's just some of the pictures of things that we've seen in different classrooms where they do multicolored desks, multicolored tabletops. Your library. This is a very good depiction of what you're going to see in your library. We do have the clouds, we do have the chevrons, we do have the individual seats that are going in there, and so the seating can be done in any color as well. So we've actually looked at some of the grades and some of the colors. When we sit down to actually choose the final colors that are going in there, again, this is going to be an area that when the parents walk into, the community walks into, they're just going to be, in our opinion, wowed by it.
Is it vinyl or what's the material?
That's a great question. They are vinyl. It is a vinyl. It's the vinyls nowadays, they almost look and feel like a regular fabric material. You've got over 100,000 rub count on all this material, so the quality is excellent. For you to get 100,000 rubs off one of these, you're looking at a 20-year receipt. 20-year plus. When we change furniture out in most schools, it's not because it doesn't function anymore. It's simply, it's time to, time to update and time to change it out, and maybe new looks that come in. I'll tell you the Grecian backs on those, we're getting those in the library as well. Just some of the different seats and some of the different colors that we can offer. One of the rooms in Area A, Ms. Cook said, you know what, we came up with an idea about making a reading room. If we have an extra room, what can we do? Maybe this could be a treat for the kids, an area that we can bring them in and they know they're going into the caboose room. So we offer what's called a caboose. And this front part right in here looks and feels like grass. We have them in domes as well, with the little grassy domes. And it's actually made specifically to stimulate the kids' senses. They can come in here, they sit, all of these are soft seatings, and those tables are on casters so they can pull apart. They've got storage underneath, so it's very diverse piece of furniture. And we wanted an area where we can maybe bring the kids in, have some soft seating around, and that's a room where they can just come in and do specific art projects or specific reading projects or whatever a teacher had in mind, maybe something creative.
It's going to be the room up top by the elevator. When you go upstairs, right when you come out of the elevator, there's a big open room there. It's going to be a media room with if I'm not mistaken, a 14-foot screen that was already in plan. That's where this is going to go. And I'm going to keep one of the cows with 25 Chromebooks in there, so it can be used as a computer lab or a media room or a reading station. And I know we just got some renderings of the back windows where you're looking over all the air conditioning units, and that's going to be like a big saltwater fish tank mural.
That's the room that you talked about, or we noticed on our walk, that you saw the entire roof.
Yeah, so
I think LWA is helping with facilitate that.
Tom sent us some examples we can put on film, we can put on those windows.
It's gonna be a really fun
Yeah.
print. I think it's gonna look really great. in all this.
I was worried about the ACs.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything for me.
It's a beautiful view.
Us either.
But all the way across, I think they put a lot of thought and creativity into the school. The different colors, the furniture that was picked out, like I said, a lot of input from the teachers. And I think they're getting, probably about 90-95% of what they wanted. Outside of extra storage and things that maybe the teachers weren't taking into account the built-ins, so they were asking for a lot of storage. And we just said, well, let's hold off right now. What's important is getting all the furniture in there, making sure the students are taken care of, the activity tables that every teacher requests. So aside from your student desk, you do have at least one table in each room where the teacher can pull a group together and work with them. So, if anybody's got any questions, if anybody has any area in particular that you need to ask about.
So is it my understanding every room is furnished?
Yes, ma'am.
Even ones that we know will not be occupied
I
yet?
think there's 3 downstairs that are not furnished right now.
In this plan?
In this plan, there's only 3 not furnished, but we're gonna have all those other rooms, a lot of extra stuff. So we're picturing those rooms as like a small group pull-out, and our Tier 3 RTI program, where the RTI people can bring them in there and start working with the kids in a real small station. And since we have a couple rooms that are not being used currently to the I can move that furniture around.
Are we not staffing, are we not furnishing it for financial purposes or
Yes,
just
ma'am.
because
That is
financial? Okay.
Yes, because there was no money budgeted to do this, so, in order to pay for this, we're bringing to you this proposal tonight and having to use some of those other project funds from the bond is my proposal. The decision I put out there, because I know they would prefer to have gone ahead and done all of them, and I felt that it was very important, and Cheryl and I talked about this, that we were frugal at this point, and we make sure that we take care of what we need, while we go after the NIFA grant in hopes that we receive those funds, and when that occurs, we'll think positively, then we'll go in and we'll finish out the rest of the rooms and even add more to some of the rooms. Like we said, there were some other things the teachers would have liked to have had, but we made sure that we got what we absolutely needed for them to be able to hold their classes, function well, have that wow factor as we open up the building, but we did hold back on not going to that point to furnish every small area.
And it's the 3 up there, then the one all the way to the top right, that's gonna be a coach's room. Because if I have 4 or 5 classes in the gym, it gets a little packed. So they can separate the kids out and do a health lesson in that one room, but it has to just be open seating, like open floor for the kids to do stuff.
How about furniture for cafeteria? I didn't see anything on the cafeteria.
So cafeteria, we got these What's our seating, 254, I think?
That's correct.
Where's those tables at?
It's right in here. And we're getting some wavy,
Wavy,
mobile
they're
bench
wavy
wave
tables.
I haven't
Really
seen
good.
pictures of diagrams up there. I may have missed it, I didn't see anything up there with.
No, I'll tell you what, I actually,
That was on the original you gave me.
yeah, it was on the original, I took that off, but we do have some mobile
That's
bench
fine.
tables.
I just wanna make sure that it kinda all follows the suit.
We were gonna do like the bench ones, so we can do an assembly in there, but we realized the ones that they sort of come apart in the middle, make like almost like a church pew. But when we put them in, we can only see, what was it, Martin, 130? But it would take us 4 hours to get all the kids through from each basically.
Right.
So we changed the tables and went with these really cool curvy looking ones for a really good factor. And we can fit about 240 or 250 through there at a time.
The cafeteria is a little reduced, just on the layout, so we did the best we could to put the cafeteria tables in there and fit 3 lunch periods, right, as opposed to having to break it down to 4 lunch periods.
Yeah.
So, but I would tell you, the entire school is being furnished. I mean, like I said, aside from those few classrooms.
In the library, the chairs and stuff are gonna be a size appropriate for the small kids, right?
Yes, sir. That was a conversation we did have as far as the countertops in the school, just, and he may be able to answer that, but I think they're all about 30 inches. That's your typical construction, your standard construction, which does need an 18-inch chair. This is an 18-inch chair right in here. So, I mean, the kids can sit in it, they can utilize it. Outside of having the contractors bring the countertops down, I would say professionally certain, the 30, even at 30 inch, so that can be used by adults as well as kids. I mean, they make do on some of the countertops.
How many, was it 1 or 2 extra classrooms that we did furnish for each grade level?
One, so I'm gonna look at it. I got 8 second, and I have 6 right now. 8 first, I have 6, but I have a real high student population, so I may need to knock it up to 7. And I got 7 of kinder and 7 of pre-K already furnished.
So
So we
there
have
are
room-
extra rooms
Yeah.
furnished, so it's not like we left those rooms. So I just wanted to clarify that. We just have those rooms, because we're planning too with the science lab, music, some things we're wanting to add,
Mhm.
so, until we get that kind of in place.
And right now, one of those rooms is an art, the top middle, that's gonna be an art room, so we got like the art tables and the workstation for her to keep all of her storage stuff, a desk that rolls around while she's working with the kids.
And this also includes life skills, PPCD, and your resource room. So, like I said, they've pretty much taken every aspect of the school into account.
And Mr. Pena, on the deadline, if we provide it for you, there's not gonna be a problem meeting that deadline.
No, sir. And I'm honest with all of my customers right up front, the thing that takes the longest are the cafeteria tables. I'd say if anybody tells you less than 10 to 12 weeks, you're just not being honest, and that's just how long they take. I don't care who it is, we carry 5 lines of cafeteria tables. But, we're within a very good timeline. So we're looking at April, May, June, July, we should have everything in here. The school furniture itself, Mr. Russell, can be manufactured and delivered and installed in 6 weeks.
And actually, with us, we're thinking it's actually going to be better for it to be coming in June, July, because we can go ahead and have everything else moved in, finished out, so that when furniture comes in, that's the last piece, and we don't want the teachers in.
Yeah, it would be a lot, or extremely more beneficial to us, and I guess for you guys as well, some of the things get messed up or dinged up or stuff like that, at the very last minute would be the best part, and we'll facilitate that. Those countertops are 2.6, by the way, that are in the cabinet, the computer lab. At the base, at the bottom of it, where you roll underneath, is 2'6".
So 30 inches. Very good.
Board, have any other questions? No other questions, have a motion to approve the purchase of furniture from Indico as recommended by administration.
So moved.
A motion by Ms. Johnson, a second. Second by Mr. Rector. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Pena, thank you for being here tonight.
Likewise, thank you very much.
Safe
for having us.
travels.
And for all the work, good work.
Thank you, sir.
And you're barbecuing the day that we're opening up, right?
We sure are.
Is that a yes? Is that a yes?
That's a yes.
Way down to
Thank you.
Agenda item number 9, just the kids, I'm sorry. Yeah, number 9 is consider and approve resolution amending the text pool authorized representatives. Ms. Cook.
This is a standard document, we're just adding it to our text pool.
Next is a resolution adding the two representatives, the existing representatives, Gerald Stansberry, and then adding Ms. Cook. Get a motion to approve the resolution amending the list of authorized representatives of text form. So moved. A motion by Mr. Molinak, go second. Second by Ms. Johnston. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 10 is the superintendent reports. We have a public relations report, a calendar of upcoming events, and the Bounce Forward Spring Fling. Let's go.
Yes, these are just reports we've started putting in, just to give you information on how we're doing with our Facebook outreach, just to continue to work with that, and looking towards our next year ideas that we're going to be implementing. You have the calendar of events, which once again does not include everything that's coming up, but please check the website, and I'll try my best on weekly updates to give you the, some little updates too on what's coming. It's going to be very busy April and May, and move very quickly. Thing we're really looking forward to is our Bounce Forward Spring Fling. I gave you the latest flyer that was developed by our media students at the high school. That is will be Wednesday, April 24th, 5 to 8 at the Civic Center. It's turning into quite a big event. We've got quite a few that are across the region that are joining us in this, and look forward to a time of celebration of all the hard work that's been done to recover and continuing to recover from Harvey. But that's why we like to talk about bouncing forward. We want to be better than we were even before that. So we want to provide opportunities for our families to know about the assistance that's still available for them if they're still struggling. So have a little fun, but also share some good information. So I hope you'll mark your calendars to be there that evening. We have started the push out as of today, and we're doing along the social media this week. We're going to email out the flyers Monday via our school email messenger system, and then on the 22nd, the Monday before, we'll actually send the flyers home with our elementary students, because their secondary students don't make it very far with flyers out the door, as well as we have many media outlets that are willing to help us put information out. And Debbie, that has the big billboard downtown Aransas Pass, Wednesday, you'll start seeing it scroll through there, and they're doing that just as a courtesy for us. So I think it's going to be a great community event, and I'm very appreciative of all the hard work everyone's putting into this, and I hope you'll make plans to attend.
Agenda item number 11 is to update on implementation of the standard response protocol, reunification method, and district safety plan.
In your board packet, Mr. Bennett had to be out tonight to take care of some family needs. So he has, as you see in the report that we have, he's been meeting with Captain Pierce as we continue to look at our SOP processes and ensure that we are implementing them. I checked with him again today to see how he felt we were in the implementation. I was looking at all he said here. And he feels like the layout that he's put in here for you, that the teachers have been trained, the staff has been rolling out to the students. We've had many drills, and so he feels like currently we are on target with our SRP planning. The last phase is the reunification planning, and that has begun. We've had several meetings on that already, and he's been meeting with Mr. Pierce, Captain Pierce. And so we can see by the timeline, we're looking at, they've already given a deadline for campuses to submit their individual campus reunification control release plans. Then May 21st, we'll have the planning team meeting for the district reunifications. So that is all moving forward. We want to make sure that all of that is in place so that when school begins, that we are ready with a plan to move forward, hoping and praying that we never have to use it. But we want to know what it is. We want to have practiced, prepared, and be ready in a moment's notice to implement. We learned from the March 29th lockout that we had with the incident that occurred across from Blunt that communication is key. do this, and everybody knows their part, and we practice it enough, because emotions start running high, and we need to be very well versed on it so that we can, protect, the staff.
And the Rancho Police Department is going to be the lead law enforcement agency in reunification or any type of response, right? I mean, it's not like the county going to come in and try to take over.
Well, I mean, that would probably depend on what the incident is. I've personally experienced with the police department, it starts an event, depending on what it is, and then depending on the scope of it, we've had surrounding areas come in. So, that's a piece that we need to look at, what would happen if it becomes a bigger event.
Bigger event, you have other agencies come in and get involved.
That's gonna be rare, but, I personally.
It's going to be a headache if you don't plan for it, have a plan in action, because if it ever comes up,
That's true.
and you just kind of, better plan at the ground zero than where you're trying to do it. So.
Right. Well, that's a good point. I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
We haven't, but the reunification process in SRP is all based on, that same language that all law enforcement agencies use, through FEMA.
Yes.
That's the one I was thinking. I'm losing the acronym for that system right now, but.
Was it the online training that all of us, the entire administrative team had done, and where
It's built so that if it starts with local police, and then, like she said, depending on the scope of the incident, it may go all the way up to the FBI. But it's built so that as they transition leadership, language, and job responsibilities don't change. It's like incident command.
That's it. At that point, that's outside our realm.
Oh, yes,
That's the authorities side. Our side is
We manage our people.
is figuring out how we're going to reunify our kiddos, and as long as we have that plan, they're going to follow our plan that we have.
Yes.
The other aspect of it, and I didn't see anything itemized here as far as communication, how we're going to standardize that. Will that be addressed in the reunification plan as far as having one PR person that's controlling?
Yes, everything will be addressed.
Board have any questions? This is an information item, so there's no action to be taken. Agenda item number 12 is to announce the board training hours. State Board of Education rules require in Chapter 19 of the Texas Education Code, Section 61, that the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees before an election of trustees, whether or not an election is held, the current president of each local board shall announce the name of each board member who has completed the required continuing education or who has exceeded the required hours of continuing education or who is deficient. So I'm glad to say we're not deficient, so let me read the hours real quick. Tier 2 team building hours requires 3 hours each year. Patricia Branch, 3 hours. Dale Diasas, 3 hours. Victor Galvan, 3 hours. Veronica Johnson, 3 hours. John Mullinax, 3 hours. David Rector, 3 hours. And Terry Stansberry, 3 hours. Tier 3 is additional based on assessed needs, 5 hours each year. And we have some very ambitious board members here. Patricia Branch, 50 hours. Dale Diasas, 12. Victor Galvan, 22.5. Veronica Johnson, 14. John Mullinax, you took top prize here, 57. David Rector was in third with 45. And Terry Stansberry was with the rest of us at 16.
Because we need ribbons.
Ribbons.
Our second,
Just make it a little friendly competition.
Yeah.
I think we work to even compete, I can't afford to, so.
Trying to keep up with Johnny and Patricia.
Tier 4 student achievement requires 3 hours every 2 years. Patricia Branch, 6 hours. Adele Diasas, 3 hours. Victor Galvan, 3 hours. Veronica Johnson, 3 hours. John Mullinax, 6 hours. David Rector, 6 hours. And Terry Stansberry, 3 hours. So on behalf of administration and as your president, I want to thank y'all for all your time that you commit to get your training done. And agenda item number 13 is discussion for any future topics. Does the board have anything they would like to discuss in the future that we can put on the agenda?
Just a thought, I was thinking, I've heard just some feedback from community members and students on college preparatory classes. And I don't know if we have anything like that. I know we have Ingenuity, and it kind of, it's more challenging, helps them with independent learning and such, but I don't know if we have any type of class that helps prepare them. Because in my personal experience, even my own children, that was one of the biggest things. Mom, I just don't know how to study. You know, they're either that or they're not disciplined enough, or they're not prepared. So it's just kind of one of those things that maybe we can look at or see what programs we do have.
I think Walmart offers that. Might want to check with Walmart. Just because it's courtesy.
Anything else? Agenda item number 14 is to convene an executive session as authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.001, concern any and all purposes permitted by the Act, Section 551.074, discussing personnel, resignations, recommendations for hire, contract renewals for teachers and other certified personnel, Section 551.071 and .129, consultation with legal counsel regarding facilities issues. Time is now 8:14, and we will convene an executive session. Let the record reflect the time is now 9:22. The board has convened an open session to take action concerning any and all purposes permitted by the Act. Do you have a motion to approve the resignations as submitted by administration?
So moved.
So a motion by Ms. Johnson, a second by Mr. Molinak. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the contract renewals of teachers and other certified personnel as recommended by administration?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rector, a second by Ms. Johnson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And with there being other business before the board, this meeting is adjourned. Time is now 9:23.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Good job.
Next month.